Are there tapes that you accepted bribes, President Biden? Is that true?
Yes, that was President Biden on Tuesday, laughing it off, the whistleblower allegations that a Burisma executive who paid him and his son, Hunter Biden, $10 million, $5 million each, that executive has 17 audio recordings of conversations with both members of the Biden family, Joe and Hunter. The FBI is still stonewalling Republicans, meanwhile, who are demanding access to the Biden bribery document. Watch this.
Do you have those 17 recordings?
I'm not going to comment on any investigative matter.
It's unclassified. Don't you think the American people have a right to see it?
Senator, the document, as you know, contains sensitive information that has bearing on the life of the source of the information, potentially.
Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer has subpoenaed Biden family associate Devon Archer to appear for deposition tomorrow. He's also subpoenaing bank records related to the Hunter Biden relationship with a Russian oligarch. Joining me right now is the man himself to talk about this investigation, Kentucky Congressman, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for joining me this morning.
Good morning.
These are very serious allegations, obviously, so we want to get right to it. What do these 17 tapes tell us?
Well, according to what the oligarch told the FBI informant, was that they had 17 recordings, 2 of President Joe Biden, the others of his son, accepting bribes and talking about the terms of the bribe. This is a very serious allegation, and one thing that I know for sure, Maria, is the FBI never did one single thing to investigate this, even though you heard in the testimony that you just showed with Holly and Cruz, where the FBI told them exactly what they told me. We can't release these documents or tell you anything about potential tapes because it could endanger the life of this FBI informant, and this is one of our highest paid, most trusted, most respected, most effective FBI informants in the whole Bureau. So if that's the case, then why didn't the FBI ever investigate any of these bribery claims with Joe Biden?
Well, I think this is a really important point because that's what I've been told from many people, that this, in fact, is this whistleblower, this informant, rather, is the best informant that this government has ever seen. Tell me about this informant and why this person is so important.
Well, I'll tell you what I think I can tell you, and that is that this informant's been paid over $200,000 from the FBI. We believe this informant may also work for potentially the CIA, and this informant has been around since the Obama administration. They have used this informant's testimony in other cases that they have been involved in around the world. So this is a very valuable person to the FBI, which begs the question, why didn't the FBI investigate these allegations? Now remember, Charles Grassley's whole beef with the FBI is from the whistleblowers who have said that the FBI's never investigated anything pertaining to Joe Biden. That's what Charles Grassley's complaint is. My issue is I'm investigating the Bidens for bribery, for political corruption, and the FBI has information that's valuable to my investigation. So I think Grassley and I, we're working together, but we're also focused on 2 totally different things, and I think that gets confused in the media some.
Well, I don't understand why the FBI is stonewalling your efforts to release this document. You've seen the document. Your committee has seen the document, although they say some of it was redacted. What do we need to understand about this document?
Well, the document, again, is from a credible informant. It says that Joe Biden was taking a bribe. Now, let's look at what this document also says. It said from the oligarch that the investigators will never be able to find this, or it will take them over 10 years to find this, because of the way we funneled the money through various different banks.
Oh, my God.
The oligarch also referred to Joe Biden as the big guy. Now, Maria, this is years before anyone else knew about the term big guy, and this is years before my committee unveiled the fact that the Bidens had all these shell companies and were laundering money through 6 different American banks. So this information no one would have known about but the informant tells the FBI. And what my sources in the FBI tell me is that whether it's the FBI, the DOJ, or the IRS, anything pertaining to Joe Biden or his family, they were told to stand down. So the people in the FBI didn't even know about the shell companies the Bidens had or the money laundering the Bidens had until I had my press conference about 6 weeks ago with members of my committee, the House Oversight Committee, and told the American people and showed evidence of all these shell companies and all this money laundering. That is when the whistleblower said, "Oh my God, I remember this accusation," and no one in the FBI investigated it. What we've presented to the American people on the House Oversight Committee adds legitimacy to this allegation from the oligarch.
This is unbelievable. We also have these new records revealing that then Vice President Joe Biden threw a party featuring his son Hunter and the executives from Burisma just days after he traveled to Ukraine, and he threatened to withhold aid unless Kyiv fired their top prosecutor. The Media Research Center finds over a 4-day span last week, CBS, NBC, and ABC's morning and evening shows spent zero time on the Biden bribery allegations, while they spent nearly 5 hours on the indictment of President Trump. Congressman, how does that complicate your communicating this story and telling the American people what's going on here? The fact that the mainstream media will not even cover arguably the most serious allegations ever leveled against a president.
I will admit, Maria, it's very frustrating. They know there's something wrong here. They know all the allegations have merit because of where Joe Biden was, because of what we've seen on tape before where Joe Biden bragged about firing that prosecutor. They know that this family created these shell companies. They know this family was money laundering. They were profiting off Joe Biden's influence. The media knows that, but they're just not covering it. Then you have the liberal media like MSNBC with their low IQ audience that are sitting there, and they're being told bad things about me and members of the Oversight Committee because we have the audacity to investigate. So we're having to go against a hostile media, a media that's turned a blind eye. But I think the more information we provide, and I'm being very transparent with American people, when we find new bank records, when we find another shell company, when we find more evidence of wrongdoing, we immediately offer it to the mainstream media.
Okay.
Eventually, they're going to cover this, Maria. I have no doubt because the evidence is overwhelming.
Real quick, Congressman, before you go, if this is all true about a sitting president when he was vice president, influence peddling, accepting money from foreign nationals so that he could turn around and make changes in policy for America so he could pocket the money, if that's true, why isn't he impeached already? And if it's true that the FBI is doing nothing about it, why isn't Christopher Wray on his heels as well?
Those are great questions I ask every day. Look, Christopher Wray has no control over the FBI. One thing that I've learned from dealing with Grassley's whistleblowers is that this is an organization in disarray. No one has confidence in leadership at the top. You have bureaucrats, deep state bureaucrats, who are running the show. They're partisan. They want to get Donald Trump. They don't care what Joe Biden does because Joe Biden can be controlled. So we have issues with the FBI, but my investigation is about following the money. We're going to continue to follow the money. And Maria, I can assure you there's more money that we're going to be able to identify that was transferred between foreign nationals in other countries and the Biden family. This is going to be hard for Joe Biden to explain, and it's not going to go away. This is going to be an issue, and I think eventually the mainstream media will turn on Joe Biden and start asking the real questions. What did your family do to receive all this money?
What number are you up to now? How much have you identified of the money he's taken in from foreign nationals?
We have more bank records coming in, but we're going to exceed 10 million this week, and I think we'll get up between 20 and 30 million dollars.
Okay. Thanks very much, Congressman. We're going to be keeping the spotlight on it for sure. Unbelievable that the mainstream media does not cover this. James Comer, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.